Welcome back, everyone. In today's episode, we're going to be diving into the inside of your computer, seeing how every individual component comes together and how they work. Now, let's head over to my desk and let's get started. Alright, first up is the motherboard. This is the main circuit board that everything connects into. It has all the slots and sockets for each component needed to make the computer work. It also sends power and data between the parts like a big communication highway. Each motherboard are designed for a specific type of component depending on the work they will be looking to perform. Without this board, none of the other parts could even talk to each other. It's basically the backbone of the entire computer. And sitting right on the motherboard is the brain of the system. This square chip right here is the CPU, the central processing unit. It does the thinking, running programs, handling instructions, and doing any math that the computer needs to compute. And next to it, or sometimes built into the same chip, is the GPU, or the graphics processing unit. That's the part that handles anything visual, graphics, video, even gameplay. Laptops often solder these chips directly into the motherboard to save space. Both of them generate heat and have a huge impact on performance. Without these two chips, your computer would basically turn on and do absolutely nothing. But even the smartest chip can't do much without memory. And that brings us to RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It's where the computer keeps whatever you're working on right now. When you open a program or a file, it loads into RAM so the CPU can grab it quickly. RAM is very fast, but it's temporary. Once you turn the computer off, everything in RAM disappears. Laptops use smaller RAM sticks like this one, and the more you have, the smoother it runs, especially when multitasking. This is why upgrading RAM is actually one of the easiest ways to speed up an older computer. Now, RAM's your short-term memory, but for long-term storage, we need actual drives. Here is our storage system. We've got two main types: HDDs or hard disk drives, and SSDs or solid-state drives. An HDD is the older kind. It uses spinning disks and a physical arm to read the data. It's slower, but typically cheaper, and it holds a ton of space. An SSD has no moving parts. It uses something that's called flash memory, and it loads everything much faster. Some laptops still use a combo, a big HDD or hard disk drive for storage and a smaller solid-state drive for speed. Without storage, you have no files, no applications, and no operating system at all. Now, once all that data is flowing around, you still need a way to connect to the internet. And that's where this little guy comes into play. This here is your NIC, or your Network Interface Card. Its whole job is letting your computer connect to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, sometimes even wired internet. It has a unique ID called a MAC address, kind of like a digital license plate. If this card ever stops working, the whole laptop still can run, but you'd have no connection to anything. Now, while all this processing and networking is happening, things get hot inside of a computer, so we need to know what's cooling it. This copper pipe and small fan together make up the cooling system. This pipe pulls heat from the CPU and the GPU, and the fan blows the heat out. Computers will slow themselves down if they get too hot, and that's what we call throttling. Now, laptops have smaller cooling systems than desktops, so heat control becomes even more important. Without cooling, a laptop would overheat and either shut down or run painfully slow just to survive. But of course, none of this works without power, and that's where our battery comes in. This is the laptop's source of power when it's not plugged in. It stores energy in these cells, and it feeds it to the motherboard and the rest of the parts. Batteries are measured in what's called watt-hours. The bigger the number, the longer you can use the laptop. Without a battery, this thing would shut off the second it loses wall power, just like a desktop. This is what makes laptops portable and usable on the go. So that's the core hardware: the motherboard, CPU and GPU, the RAM, storage, the NIC, the cooling system, and the battery. These parts are the foundation of every computer. Now that you can recognize them and understand what they do, you're already ahead of most beginners. So there you have it, a computer broken down into its fundamental parts. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, as it really benefits the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.